Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. For those ones who don't know me, my name is Tamara Von Sil. Welcome to my channel. In here we talk about art and culture in a very open but honest way. And so if you're here for the first time, please, subscribe, because this is a great channel. We have sometimes uncomfortable conversations in here, but this is what we do. For those ones who are already subscribed and follow me, thank you very much for coming back to this channel. And today I'm gonna do a movie review. And this has been a very busy end of the year, lots of videos, lots of reviews, but today I'm gonna make a review of a movie that I actually liked, both on the script, writing wise, acting wise, directing wise. So the movie, it's called The Substance. This movie has already been nominated for several Golden Globes, has been acclaimed by the critics. It's a strong contender for the Oscars, both on acting categories and probably movie directing and who knows, even writing categories. So this movie is, the genre is considered to be something along the lines of body horror, which is, I guess, it's a new genre. I know about the existence of horror, and I'm gonna be very honest with you, I'm not a fan of horror movies, but I was kind of interested for several reasons. First and foremost, it's not every day that we get to see horror movies being nominated for Golden Globes and Oscar buzz. So I thought, okay, this may be a horror movie, but something perhaps in a different way. That's number one. Number two, the comeback of Demi Moore. I love Demi Moore, guys. You don't understand. In the 90s, along with Sharon Stone, she was up there for me. So I was very curious to see. I know it's not at all comeback, because it's not like she has disappeared completely for the last, 30 years, I guess. She's been in movies like Charlie's Angels Full Throttle and Bobby from 2006, where Sharon Stone is there too. And as a matter of fact, they share scenes together, so that was very interesting to see these two sex bombs from the 90s, to be sharing screen together. But to be fair and honest with you, I haven't seen much of Demi Moore ever since. She was huge in the 90s, and then she kind of stopped acting for a bit, and then there were other news, but they were more on a personal thing, about her relationships and whatnot. So movie-wise, I think, for me at least, this is a huge comeback. And it's not just any comeback, it's a comeback for with Oscar buzz. And who would have thought Demi Moore to be ever considered, possibly, hopefully, she will be nominated for an Oscar with a strong possibility of actually winning it. So yeah, Demi Moore. And also because this is your movie about, even though it's a horror movie, it's the subject matter, it's kind of very much discussed, I guess, since forever, which is what happens once the body starts decomposing, what happens when we start getting old, and how we're getting replaced. So basically this is at the core bottom of this movie, which is a very strange thing to make it into a horror movie, but we're going to talk about it. So this movie has already been awarded for Best Screenplay in 2024 Cannes Festival. I believe that was the premiere, and the reviews were amazing. So a lot of buzz regarding this movie. So there is a lot that I can talk about, and I'm going to try to be as brief as possible, okay? It's not only the acting, it's the directing, which is insane. The director did an amazing job. So the movie starts with a cloning of an egg. So straight away, it's telling you, I'm not gonna tell you everything, of course, but straight away is telling you the direction of this movie. I think that opening scene, it's so amazing. So next we're going to the scene of the creation of the Hollywood star for the main character, which her name is Elizabeth Sparkle, which is played by Demi Moore. But interestingly, we've seen how soon this Hollywood star starts cracking. So this is an amazing beginning, because it's kind of telling you straight away what the foundation of this movie is. So next we go to a scene with this incredible Demi Moore, which is 60 plus years of age. I think she's 62, and she looks amazing. She has this wonderful body, and her character, she's kind of this aerobics teacher kind of thing. So she has this show, and then once she finishes the show, she goes down this hall, this corridor, with pictures of her former young self. And both sides of the wall are covered with pictures of her. The colors of this movie are amazing. I got to say, you know, there is an outstanding cinematography and art direction. So Demi Moore, or her character Elizabeth Sparkle, she goes to the toilet. You know, the women's toilet, it's closed, so she happens to go to the men because she had to go. And you know, she enters one of the cubicles, and without realizing, there is this guy. I call him a jerk, but it's basically her boss. It's obviously the guy who is managing the network that she's working in. And basically he walks in, he's on the phone, he doesn't realize that Elizabeth is in the bathroom as well. He walks in, and basically he says something along the line that we need her, but we need her young, hot, and we need it right now. Basically saying that we need to replace Elizabeth Sparkle, and whoever we're replacing with needs to be young, hot, and it needs to happen right now. And to make things worse, that day it's Elizabeth Sparkle's birthday. She is, I believe in the movie she's turning 50. This jerk keeps making a point of the fact that a woman's fertility starts decreasing after 25. So we not only need her to be young, we need her to be super young. And already straight away, there are a lot of interesting points that this movie is making. So the jerk, I call him the jerk, but it's actually the boss. It's actually played by another actor that I haven't seen for a very long time, which is Quaid, and he's doing an amazing job too. I think the directing of this movie is crazy. It's insane. Probably is the best movie that I've seen this year, directing wise. Amazing. So there is a lot of symbols, and there is a lot of shots that are part of this great movie. And once you see it, 9 minutes in, I was like, oh my God, you know, the shooting is the movie is insane. So next, Elizabeth Sparkle proceeds to get on her car, and she has a car accident. And this car accident is really important for the story, because she ends up in the hospital. And in this hospital, she's told that she doesn't have anything, that she can go back home. Thank God she doesn't have any major issues after the accident. But the assistant of the doctor makes a comment, basically saying that she looks like a good candidate. Which of course Elizabeth Sparkle doesn't understand the meaning of that at that particular moment. But she is kind of, this guy leaves behind a phone number and a pen drive, and the pen drive, it's named The Substance. So obviously she gets fired from her job, she's too old, she's sent a bouquet that says something along the lines of, you were amazing. And of course Elizabeth feels super down, so she decides to give a pen drive, this pen drive that she was given called The Substance, a go, as they would say in English. So she connects the pen drive to her TV, I believe. And basically what this pen drive tells her is that, do you want like a younger and more beautiful version of yourself, which is actually what she wants at that given moment. The whole point of the substance is that it releases a new version of yourself, which is of course younger and beautiful. So because she's feeling super down, she orders it. And again, if you happen to see this movie, which I super recommend, which is on MUBI right now, pay attention to the details that the director is giving you. Also, the talk in this movie is quite minimal. Another factor which is important. So she decides to pick up this substance. She's given the address where she goes. It's a dodgy alley. Turns out that the substance is in a box. And inside this box, there are obviously the orders that she must follow of how to use this substance. And basically this substance has a syringe and a gun. So she first uses the syringe and then she has to use the gun, I think. And there are instructions in which she must follow. She obviously activates this substance by injecting herself. Again, look at the details in this movie. The shots are amazing. And she gets the effect straight away. Also, you get to see scenes of a naked 60-year-old plus Demi Moore, which is everything. It's like, for us nowadays to see a naked woman in her 60s, it's beyond brave. So another self of her is born. It's like she gives birth to another version of herself, but it's done via the spine. It's not done like you will normally do it, in a normal pregnancy. And this young replacement calls herself Sue. Did I say that the cinematography in this movie is amazing? I'm keep on making this point because you gotta see it for yourself. So the whole point is that they need to switch weekly. So 1 week, Elizabeth Sparkle, which is the Matrix, she's the active one, but the following week will be Sue, which is kind of the creation or her other self. So they have to keep on switching. And if already the character of Demi Moore doesn't really speak that much, the replacement, her younger self, speaks even less. And there is a lot of scenes in this movie that reminds me of that Satisfaction video. Again, you gotta see it for yourself, because obviously Elizabeth Sparkle is a fitness instructor and an aerobics instructor, so Sue, which is her creation, takes the place. Obviously, things do not seem to go according to plan. Straight away, paranoia kicks in, loneliness, and things start to become violent. I must admit that it's great to hear Demi's husky voice again. It's a point that I like to make. So I don't want to go up until the very end, but you need to see this movie by yourself. But there are lots of issues that start happening, like acceptance of who I am becomes harder, problems start to arise, there is this misuse of the substance that start happening, and it creates problem. So from all of a sudden, we go from a very sterile place. That's why it's important that you pay attention to the details and the cinematography, because we go from sterile to greasy, and that's when the horror begins. I must admit that this movie brings out some bioethical questions, and uncomfortable questions. This is a horror movie because there are some horrific scenes. I had to turn away because I couldn't see everything. And the whole point of this movie, like the motto of this movie, is a pretty girl should always smile. Keep that in mind. Pretty girl should always smile. Obviously, it does not end well. There is this whole dystopia thing happening. There is even a bloodbath going on. And I will say that it is perhaps the most bizarre movie that I have ever seen. And it's incredibly bold because the subject matter is, although we hear it every day, we do not really assume to what extent we push people to actually make them feel ashamed of themselves, ashamed of aging, which is a natural process, ashamed for not being beautiful. What's beautiful is relative. So it is, although it is a very known subject matter, we know it, we have seen it, we have heard it. This movie portrays it in a very bold way. So super recommended. It's right now on the platform called MUBI. I'm gonna leave you the link for you guys to go and see it. It is a fantastic movie, wonderfully acted, wonderfully directed. The script is amazing. It's bizarre in so many ways and yet relatable in so many other ways. Of course, the setting of this movie is Hollywood. Where else would it be? Totally recommendable. The acting is insane. Demi like you've never seen her before. Probably Dennis Quaid, like you've never seen him before either. So far, out of all the movies I've seen of this year, I will call it movie of the year. And go and watch it. Go and see it. That's all you need to do. You need to go and see it for yourself. So probably this might be the last video that I published this year, 2024. It has been amazing to share thoughts, conversation with you guys, my reviews, the conversation of ethics. And, you know, I want to wish you a wonderful 2025, a wonderful finish also of 2024, because today is the 30th of December, so it's not over yet. We still have one more day to go. But I want to wish you all the best for the rest of the year and the incoming year. Hopefully we'll still be together next year with more information, more videos, more conversations. Please engage, you know, by liking, subscribing, sharing this material. Engage on Patreon as well, become a member, you know, unlock many perks for you guys, for the supporters. And also, if you have any requests, any conversations that you think are appropriate regarding art and culture, because we're right here to have an open but honest conversation regarding art and culture. And I think The Substance, it's a great movie to reflect a little bit what, you know, this channel is all about. You know, it's, some conversations seem like, okay, you know, what's new? But the more we dig in, the more we seem to be able to discover. So let's discover together in this journey. Thank you very much for engaging. Have a wonderful 2025, beginning of the year, and I'll see you next time. Go to MUBI and watch The Substance. See you all. Thank you. Bye-bye now.